Have you ever been ready and willing to make a huge financial commitment only to be told that your credit history is screwing you over? Or maybe you've combed through all the financial impacts that something will have on your life only to be shocked by a higher interest rate that derails all of your plans? This is why it's important to stay on top of your credit. Don't be blindsided. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to check your credit, how often you should be checking, and why it's a necessary part of keeping up with your financial health. Hello everyone, welcome to the Ready Set Life YouTube channel. My name is Brittany and I am a financial coach who makes videos all about helping you take the fear out of finance so that you can live the rest of your life. I put out new videos every single Thursday, so don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified of all of my new uploads. So before we get started, I just want to go over what exactly a credit score is, just in case you've stumbled upon this video and have no clue what we're talking about. According to Investopedia, very official, I know, a credit score is a statistical number that evaluates a consumer's creditworthiness and is based on credit history. Lenders use credit scores to evaluate the probability that an individual will pay his or her debts. A person's credit score can range from 300 to 850, and the higher the score, the more financially trustworthy a person is considered to be. And I do want to put in a note here that Canadian credit scores can actually go up as high as 900. So it's a little bit different in the States than it is in Canada. If you are ever thinking of borrowing money, which most people do, then this is a really important number to keep track of. If you're mindful and responsible with your credit, you can be rewarded with lower interest rates and higher borrowing amounts. For example, if you want to buy a car, and say you have a down payment of $2,000, but the car that you want to buy is $27,000. So you'll actually need to borrow $25,000 from the car retailer. Let's say that there's a promotion going on that gives you a 0% interest rate if you pay the car back in 10 years. According to your cash flow, you project that you'll be able to comply with that requirement. So you decide that you want to buy the car. However, when you visit the dealership, you find out that this interest rate is only available to those who have good credit. If the company checks your credit and your number is too low, you'll not be eligible for that 0% promotional rate and you'll be forced to take the higher interest rate of 5% instead. This means that even though you're paying off the exact same car in the exact same time period, you're actually required to pay extra, basically just for the privilege of borrowing that money, as opposed to someone who has good credit who can just pay off the car on its own. And that's assuming that you have good enough credit to even borrow the money at all. Now, of course, this is a very simplified example, but you can really see how it definitely costs you more money in the long run to have bad credit. And none of us wants to pay more than we need to for anything that we purchase. So, how do you check your credit? The company that keeps track of your credit is something called a credit reporting agency, or a credit bureau. There are a lot of these companies around, but in Canada, the main ones are Equifax and TransUnion. And in the United States, it's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. In both countries, these companies are required to allow you to check your official score for free once per year. I'm going to leave below the links to these pages where you can get these scores directly from each company. It's important to check your rating from those companies specifically because that's going to be the most accurate representation of what your credit actually is. But as I said, these reports are only offered for free once a year. So after that, how do you keep track of your credit on the regular? I suggest Borrowell or Credit Karma. These companies will keep track of your credit scores for you and send you monthly or quarterly updates of changes of your accounts. This is extremely important because you want to be monitoring your credit regularly for errors. Your credit score isn't just a number, it's a report of all of the credit that has been taken out in your name. So this is a way that you can check for fraud. If your identity is stolen and they're trying to take out a bunch of loans, you'll be able to catch it pretty quickly because you'll see that there's been a mistake on your credit report. There can also be mistakes from other companies who report to these agencies. For example, if you have a loan and you always pay your bills on time, but your credit report comes in and says that you haven't been paying or you missed one, then that can put a big dent on your score. If you're only checking your credit once per year or not checking at all, you can easily miss a mistake like this. It could be months or even years until you notice, and by then it would just have disastrous consequences and lasting effects on your score. Do yourself a favor and check your credit before something like this happens. Trying to fix a mistake is much easier when you're doing it right away instead of just trying to backtrack. By regularly checking our credit and taking care of our credit, we can keep track of our identity, understand our borrowing capacity, and even sort of game the system a little bit when we're trying to make larger purchases. So let's go back to that first example that I gave you about buying a car. If you had checked your credit prior to going to the dealership, you would have known that your score made you ineligible for that 0% offer. Instead of being faced with a situation where you're forced or pressured into a decision by a car salesman, you'd have a better idea of how to prepare. Maybe you'd need to rework something in your budget to be able to afford the higher payments, or you could wait to purchase and try and get that score a little higher before you went back to talk to the salesman. Any preparation that you have can give you a huge advantage and save yourself some serious cash. Alright, so that is all that I have for today, everyone. If you want a more detailed explanation of credit scores, make sure to check back right here on this channel next Thursday, because I'm going to be posting another video telling you how your score is calculated, how to tell if yours is even good, and some things that you can do to change it if it's not. If you like this video, give it a like and let me know in the comments down below how you keep track of your credit score. Has there ever been anything on it that surprised you on the report, or have you never even checked it at all? I hope that you have a great day, and until next time, I'm wishing you great financial health. Thanks for watching. These companies will keep... That's my cat. Your credit scars for you. Credit scars, no. Scars for you. Credit scars, what the hell? That's my cat. Again.